Okay, welcome. Rishi Kumar, running for Congress. Thanks for being here today.
All right, my pleasure.
Could you-
And thank you for organizing this, Roger and team. It's great to be here. So let me get going. Essentially, let me just turn off Slack. I've got a few things open. Okay, so I'm a Silicon Valley high-tech guy, a mechanical engineer, and we don't see too many of these guys in politics. But this is what I'm doing as a council member of the city of Saratoga. It's a small town in Silicon Valley, and my story was, I took on some big challenges, applying the high-tech framework to problem solving into my elected leadership role. And I was pretty amazed with the kind of results that we got from that. And long story short, we were quite delighted to be reelected with the most votes in city election history. And that's because we have a base of Silicon Valley high-tech folks who have an attitude of how we can get a lot of stuff done, which is really what I was trying to do as an elected leader. I call it providing services cheaper, faster, better. So I challenged a water utility company, a private utility company that was actually increasing water rates. And we had never tried that before. In fact, I was told that, Rishi, don't even try this from my colleagues on the city council. We do not have jurisdiction over San Jose Water Company. And so my story, we rejected, reduced, or suspended 8 water rate increases that had never happened before. With rising burglaries, there was a big problem. We went from 59 burglaries a year to 130 burglaries a year in just about 4 years. And people were feeling very anxious. So we said, okay, let's have neighborhood meetings. And sometimes I have no idea how to solve a problem, but we take that first step. And so we started bringing neighbors together, rolling out neighborhood watch programs, block parties, provided a framework for neighbors to connect, communicate, collaborate. And, our burglaries dropped by 47%. We raised the happiness index of my city. And so that's the reason why, we were reelected with the most votes in city election history. And this is the reason why I'm running for Congress, because there are some big problems that we can solve here, right here. And unfortunately, politics is broken. There is so much partisan politics happening in Washington. And, even when you look at the stimulus package, the stimulus paychecks, our citizens are in dire need. I mean, they're looking for resources. I mean, some of them don't have jobs. They're trying to pay rent money. They're trying to get food on the table. And there's bickering going on in Washington. And that's really sad. But also the other aspect of what I see a lot is the big money in politics. And with the big money in politics, we are stifling the voice of the people. And that is the tragic consequence of what we are seeing with the agenda of American people being subverted by the ones who have the money. And, it started with Citizens United. And I'm challenging Congresswoman Anna Eshoo. So I'm a Democrat. I'm blue, and I'm challenging another Democrat. So this is the very first time this has ever happened in the election history of our district, that blue is running against blue. And so we ran a pretty solid campaign. There were 5 people running in the March primary, and there were 2 Republicans, Libertarian. We made it past, and we believe we have a shot to win this race. And why am I challenging Congresswoman Eshoo? Because, unfortunately, there is an aspect of what she has done which doesn't align with the beliefs of our community, the beliefs of our people, the progressive beliefs. This is what we need to fix. As the chair of the House Health Subcommittee, listen to this one very closely. She's the #1 recipient of pharma money in the United States Congress, the House of Representatives. #1 recipient, bar none, nobody. Okay, but after this, it gets a lot worse, because Congresswoman Eshoo has passed legislation that increases the price of healthcare. There are families who are trying to make a choice between food, between housing, and between healthcare. You know what? Healthcare is put on the back burner because the impact is not felt immediately. And there are kids who are dying in this country. You look at the price of insulin. It's a drug that has been there for 100 years. It's $670 here in the United States. And in Mexico, it's $67. Now, this is the tragic aspect of how big pharma is subverting the agenda of American people. And Congresswoman Anna Eshoo is playing ball with them. You know, she has actually passed legislation that increases the price of healthcare. That's a conflict of interest. You talk about the big money. So the debate, that brings me to the debate. You know, we really enjoyed the debate with Congresswoman Eshoo just about 2 weekends back. And we're still walking on air because we got a chance to highlight some of the key differences between my agenda and between Congresswoman Eshoo's agenda. So let me lay out a few of them. So we talked about the PAC money that Congresswoman Eshoo gets. And we checked the record on opensecrets.org. It's about $748,000 of PAC money. We take zero. We take zero, and we have been running a pretty hard campaign fired by an army of grassroots people, you know, volunteers. We have an army from 28 states across the United States. Over the summer, we had 1,000 volunteers. We have gone down, but we are still doing what we can. We went to 1,000. We went to 100,000 doors in Silicon Valley, which probably has never happened before because this is not how people campaign. You know, 100,000 doors. We made 1 million phone calls so far, 1 million phone calls. And, you know, our video hits 1.2 million. So we are running a grassroots campaign. And we believe we have a shot to win this. But going back to the debate, we laid out the stark differences between Congresswoman Anna Eshoo and myself. You know, the 748,000 was called out. You know, Congressman Eshoo, you know, why do we take all that PAC money and special interest group money? And her response was, we need it for stamps and we need it for signs. Now that's a lot of money for lawn signs and stamps. I mean, I'm running a campaign of 1,000 people with absolutely no PAC money, no special interest group money. That's a key difference. On California fires, that's a big problem here. You know, Congressman Anna Eshoo, you know, said that, oh, you know, we have had it for hundreds of years, and I'm not sure why nobody has done anything about it. But, you know, as an elected leader, you know, the onus is upon Congressman Anna Eshoo to solve these types of problems. And it was a little bit lackluster, I would say. You know, in fact, we didn't even call it out at the debate. It was after the debate that people started telling me that, oh my God, you know, why did she say that for 100 years, nothing much has been done about it, right? So this is the opportunity that we have as elected leaders to step up and do something about it, right? And we have a clear plan. We talk about the issues. It's climate change, but it's also about how we have increased the logging and permitting fees in California. And this has led to an inferno waiting to happen, lightning, boom, you know, there's fire. Or a campfire, right? So that's the type of challenge we are facing. Let's talk about transportation and traffic, which is a big challenge here in Silicon Valley. You know, in 2015, we had a net 24,000 people that were arriving into Silicon Valley with the dreams of that gold rush that still happens right here today in Silicon Valley. Gold rush happening, the California gold rush, right? I mean, the highest density of millionaires anywhere on planet Earth is happening right here in Silicon Valley. It's because of tech. Tech is the new gold. But you know what happened? You know, with people leaving, in 2017, we have a net 3,000 people leaving. So people are leaving Silicon Valley. Why are they leaving? It's an economic hotbed. Why are they leaving? Because of quality of life. They can't find housing. They are stuck in traffic for such a long time. The homelessness in California is greater than the rest of the 49 states. What are we going to do about it? So we said, you know, Congressman Anna Eshoo said that, look, you know, I would like to bring the high-speed rail. You know, I supported that project. That was her talk about traffic and the traffic and transportation challenge. What we talk about has been the foundation of our campaign. 21 minutes, 21 counties. There are 21 counties that are connected to Silicon Valley, spread across 21 counties that could be connected to Silicon Valley with high-speed transportation. Now, when that happens, you have created affordable housing. Stockton to San Jose in 15 minutes, and you can afford a good single family home in Stockton for like $300,000 compared to paying like $2 million, $2.5 million, $3 million here, right? So that's how you can create affordable housing. But now you have reduced the commute time to 15 minutes with high-speed transportation, which is, you're going to create an enormous amount of affordable housing. And you're also going to grow the economy, because when any young engineer wants to set up a family, they will move to perhaps Stockton, buy a nice home they're living in enjoying great quality of life. They're still commuting to Sunnyvale in 20 minutes. And when they do a startup, they will actually set it up right there in Stockton or Modesto or Sacramento or Fresno or Bakersfield. And this is how you can quadruple the economy here in Silicon Valley. We are talking about preempting local control, building more and more housing. Nobody talks about the greed playing out with that, but also the fact that you have not done proper urban planning. You need to do proper urban planning to build to scale these types of housing projects. Roads are in 2D. Buildings are in 3D. It doesn't work. So we need to do a lot better. So we have a real plan. But that's the data that popped out from the debate. Go to rishikumar.com/debate. Watch that debate. I'll tell you, all you need to do is watch it for 2 minutes and check it out. How are we presenting our ideas? How are we articulating? And what's the key difference between why is Congresswoman Anna Eshoo there for 28 years, or why is she out of touch with the reality, or why is Rishi bringing all these dynamic new ideas for Silicon Valley that could make a huge difference with addressing the big challenges, I'm trying to remember that third issue that we have. And we talked about fires, we talked about transportation, healthcare. I am going to reduce the price of the healthcare tag for American people. It's the most significant challenge that we have. And we have to do a lot better. Purge that big money in politics. People-centric behavior is what I call it. Congressman Eric Swalwell, when he was challenging Pete Stark back in 2012, he called it people-centric behavior, people-centric behavior. And it's not like I knew that. Somebody else pointed that to me in one of my town hall meetings. We are there to address the challenges of the people, get stuff done, get a lot of stuff done. This is what elected leaders should be doing. Washington is broken. Oh my God, it's completely broken. We need passionate people who can step up, do the right thing for the people, and address the big challenges such as housing, traffic, homelessness, the climate change, such as, whatever else is impacting our local communities. When you look at, the urban economies of the United States, they have been impacted. COVID-19, that's the big dog. Let's talk about COVID-19. The pandemic, America was crippled, fell down to its knees with the COVID-19, and we didn't have any answers. We look like a third world country. Come on. Stimulus packages, PPP loans, paycheck protection programs. The banks are the mediators. Why? Why were the banks the mediator? We should allow our feds to hand out these checks directly to businesses, directly to people. Why are banks mediating? There is so much that happens in the country. You know what? The banks played, I'm running out of time, 1 more minute. The banks played favoritism. They were essentially, what they were doing was they were only providing that PPP opportunity to their favorite customers. That's not the way it should work. We need to solve problems, make it better. We need to bring manufacturing back from China. We need to ensure that we have a pandemic preparedness plan. Congresswoman Anna Eshoo said that she worked 15 years on pandemic preparedness, and she was quite proud of it in an op-ed piece published in the San Jose Mercury News. It failed. There was no pandemic preparedness plan. We can do a lot better. And I can assure you, I will roll up my sleeves. I'll be in the trenches, work pretty hard, and be there to address the needs of American people and to ensure that we have a rocking, fantastic economy right here in Silicon Valley. Thank you so much. It's a delight to be here. I really appreciate this.
All right. Well, thank you.